Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Back
Beach,
again with another one.
yes sir. And the mock draft is days away. Um, we've been real excited about getting this done, so we're gonna do this first No Stats mock draft. Go through the first round. I'm sure we're gonna have some back and forth, and and get through it. We're gonna use this PFF mock draft simulator. So I'm gonna bring
Oh,
this up, bro.
you know what I'm saying? It's time to dive into the NFL, see what these young prospects is gonna be bringing to the league.
Yeah, bro. And there's been a lot of chatter about quarterbacks. Is those top four quarterbacks gonna go in the top five? With C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, um, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis, and Anthony Richardson. So there's been a lot of back and forth, but so we're gonna get into this.
I like
I
Will
think
Levis, man. I like him a lot.
I think it's a team out there that like him a lot too, but we're gonna get to that.
Mmm.
With this first pick, bro, with this Panthers pick, I think it's pretty wrapped up at this point. I think Bryce Young will be the unanimous um pick there. I don't think I think it was a lot of talk going on earlier with the CJ Stroud, right? Did they move up for CJ Stroud? But to get to that first pick, right? And this was always in the back of my mind. That's a big jump. If you're jumping up that high, you want the guy who's been projected to go number one, pretty much all year long. Unless he was dealing with injury. I've seen a couple mocks a couple weeks ago that had CJ Stroud there, but I felt that move didn't justify that. They could have moved up to
Hmm.
3 and got CJ Stroud. So to move up to 1, I think it's Bryce Young all day.
I
How you
want
feel
to
about
ask
that?
you too before you moved on. I like Bryce Young as the pick here. Do you think that Bryce Young could come in and make an impact immediately for this team?
I think he can, bro. I like
I'm,
Frank
I know
Wright in
you like.
Carolina.
Here we go.
Yeah,
I was waiting for the Panthers
yeah,
take, baby.
yeah. I like Frank Wright in Carolina, bro. I think they put some nice pieces. They got Miles Sanders, running back from Philly. Um, they picked up who the receiver, DJ Chart. They got Adam Thielen. They picked up Hayden Hurst from the Bengals. They also got Von Bell from the
Forgot
Bengals. So
about
they've
the
been
Thielen pickup.
they've been putting some pieces around there. So I think as long as you got to keep that offensive line right, and you just give them some pieces to work with. Sometimes these quarterbacks go into horrible situations, and it's hard for them to they already starting 15 steps back. But I think Carolina is doing a good job of putting some pieces around them. And in that division, bro, I think he'll be able to play well. This second pick, this Houston pick, I honestly don't see a quarterback on here. Um, I can see a trade down here, but I also can see them staying put because I think they love Will Anderson Jr., the edge out of Bama.
Mm.
I think they had like a 99 grade on him. I read somewhere. Uh, and they super high on Will Anderson. There's been a lot of talk around his name. Um, PFF has Jalen Carter ranked second, but I think he'll fall a little bit, not too far. He only visited with top 10 teams in the draft, but that off the field incident may cause him to slip. And I think Will Anderson Jr. is the better player out of those two, more impact player. So I got Houston going Will Anderson Jr. there. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I would honestly take a quarterback here.
Yeah.
I would try to snag up C.J. Stroud or maybe even Will Levis here to try to, booster, get a young franchise guy in there. I don't really think David Mills can um, get it done as your franchise quarterback going forward. So
Hmm.
I feel like with the 12th pick, you could probably, because I know that not to skip ahead,
Yeah,
but
they got that 12.
I know somewhere in there, you could snag a weapon like a receiver, but
Hmm.
I like a
Yeah.
quarterback here. But
Yeah, I think a lot of people do, bro. I think Houston needs a quarterback, but I think with their D'Amico Ryans went over there from San Fran, and I think he's trying to bring a part of that culture there. And we spoke about this previously, but the 49ers have been successful with mediocre quarterback play. Not saying that they won't try to get somebody, but also linking the 49ers, D'Amico Ryans, Trey Lance. I think we can get a Trey Lance and Houston sighting, bro. I think we can get
I
that.
see
So
them talks is picking up, man.
yeah, yes sir. All right, moving on to Arizona, pick 3. I struggle with this one a little bit. Uh, they're not in the quarterback market, right? Even though Kyler Murray's out for some time, rehabbing from that ACL injury. And this is a team that, going through a coaching change, needs some weapons, needs some depth at certain positions on the offensive line, but it's interior offensive line. So after thinking about this for a while, bro, I gave them, who did I give them? I think they go a guy like Devin Witherspoon. I'm checking my mock.
For
What
the
you got?
Cardinals, I mean, Kyler Murray's gonna be out till what, like week 12?
Yeah, week 12.
Damn,
I'm
they
lying,
don't
bro.
have-
I had them taking Tyree Wilson. I'm surprised Tyree Wilson dropped all the way down here. I was looking for him at the top and I couldn't find him.
You got J.J. Watt retiring as well.
Exactly.
You definitely need to, you got to
Yeah,
fill that void somehow.
Yeah, and this could also be a trade down spot, right? I mean, if they can get some other picks, like I said, they need some help in different areas. So I can see them trading down. But I'm surprised Tyree Wilson was all the way down there. But that's who I got them taking. I think they replaced J.J. Watt, like you said. They lost Chandler Jones not too long ago. So I got 2 edges going at 2-3.
I agree, bro.
Pick 4, bro. This is where it starts getting dicey and spicy.
You gotta take my guy. Take my guy, man.
Which one is your guy? Because I got him going Will Levis.
I was gonna say Will Levis, man.
Come on, I think Will Levis is a Colts quarterback, man. I think he fits that mold. Christian Painter, Sam Ellinger, not as good as Andrew Luck, but that body type, big body quarterback. And I think they're all in. I think they're being quiet on him. Some teams will be happy that C.J. Stroud fell, but I think this is the pick here. I think you agree with me too.
I definitely agree, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he fits the culture there, man.
Yeah, so, I agree.
And don't be surprised if I'm not saying at a large amount, but don't be surprised if he, impacts them quickly. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see what that Michael Pittman Jr. combo, how that looks.
For sure, bro. And they got that offense. The offensive line hasn't been as great as it was a few years ago, but they got some studs, right? They got Nelson. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but on that one of the best guards, if not the best guard in the NFL. So they got some pieces. They'll have to build a little bit through this draft, but they get their quarterback that they want. All right, moving to 5. I don't think Jalen Carter is going to continue to fall. I think a team like Seattle and Pete Carroll, will take that chance on him, which I don't think is a big chance. There's no criminal charges against him. And he's a monster, bro. Like, I think we was looking at this not too long ago. And it said, what can he improve? And that thing said very little.
The sky's the limit on that, man.
Yeah, when you get a player like this, bro, he won't fall too far. And I can see Seattle snatching him up here.
And he going to be out there with Bob, man. Come on,
man.
Gonna groom that youngster.
Come on. Sure, bro. For sure. And Seattle will be making some noise and try and get back to the playoffs this year.
Especially on the other side of the ball too. Like, they seem pretty set with Geno going forward. DK they still got Tyler Lockett, right?
They do.
Got the veteran out there, so.
And they got 2 first-round picks. Don't forget about that. They got this 5th pick from the Russell Wilson trade. So they'll get a chance to add a weapon later on in the draft. And we'll get to that. But at 6, the Detroit Lions. So you got these teams that were outside the playoffs, right outside and inside with Seattle and Detroit, who have top picks just to help them get a bit better. Now, the Lions just lost Jameson Williams for a little bit due to, did you see that news? Gambling.
Yeah.
He was gambling, so they lost him for a few games.
Free my brothers, man. Free my brothers, man. I said, so damn, I was looking at the details. I'm like, sheesh.
Yeah. But the good thing is they don't lose him for the whole season. They did lose a cornerback in Cephas, and then they also just traded Jeff Okota, if I'm saying his name right. He just got traded. So I think cornerback is the position here. I think Devin Witherspoon is a one-on-one guy. Like I said, being in that conference with Justin Jefferson, you need a guy who can at least give you something, right? Where you're not trying to double him every time. He can make some plays, and I think that's the call there.
Both of that defense, man.
Yeah, absolutely. This Vegas pick at 7, bro. This is an interesting pick because Vegas, I feel like they've been missing in the draft lately. They got your man Jimmy G. I don't know why you so big on Jimmy G, but they got your man Jimmy G. They got your man Jimmy G, bro. The defense is very spotty. They have holes somewhere, but they do have Max Crosby on that edge. But I think their defensive backs are kind of weak, right? And I've seen a lot of mocks have Christian Gonzalez going to Vegas, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think he's the second best quarterback in this class, right after Devin Witherspoon. If Detroit doesn't take Devin, I can see Vegas jumping on that, but I think we get 2 cornerbacks going back to back here.
We're gonna keep the receipts on that Jimmy G comment too.
We are, because they finished last in that division too. By the way, get that receipt.
He gonna be throwing that thing downfield to Devontae. Every play, throw that.
Now we got Atlanta, bro. Again, this division, where they try and pick up pieces, and somebody got to win this damn division. I think they need a quarterback. They're saying they're good with Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati, who they drafted last year at quarterback, and they want to give him a shot. Do they bring in a young guy and take all of that confidence in Desmond Ridder? You can see what he got, and like I said, being that Caleb Williams sweepstakes for next year, if you bet, that's not a bad consolation prize. I don't think they go quarterback. Yeah, the Falcons. I don't think they grab a quarterback here, but what's your thoughts?
I'm in that sweepstakes with you, bro. I think you can. Atlanta's not gonna win anything this year, so I think even develop your young guys, and try to get that number 1 pick for next year.
I agree, bro. And I think they go edge. I think Nolan Smith comes off the board here. Georgia product, stays local. He was off the charts at the combine. Blazing 40 speed, athletic edge, bro. He's a monster. I think they'll take him, and because I don't think they really have a lot of talent on that defensive line. So take him, and then if you can, like I said, being that Caleb Williams sweepstakes next year, you add that quarterback, and then you can start building.
Agreed.
I think the Bears go tackle here. You decided to trade down from the number 1 pick, right? So you're moving forward with Justin Fields. Get him some protection, right? Northwestern kid from Illinois. A lot of people are high about him. I read some reports, PFF and ESPN, saying how versatile he is. So I think that's where they're going to go in the first round. Take this tackle.
Wow, they said very little. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Definitely got to get Justin Fields some protection this year. So
Absolutely.
I like this pick right here. Booster that line, get him some time. So he ain't really putting that much tax on his body since he is already dual threat. Got to protect the dual threat guys. I know we got to protect all the quarterbacks, but they're definitely the dual threat guys.
Absolutely, bro. And I think, like you said, they get them some weapons over there. They got DJ Moore. So they starting to make some changes over there in Chicago. And like you said, get a guy some time. Just sit back there and throw the rock. And I think that pick will help them move in that direction. Now, 2 things. One, CJ Stroud's still up here.
That's what's crazy. I keep looking at it like, where is he going? It's like everything that's popping up is like, I mean, don't get me wrong. In that, how we were saying with the second pick with the Texans, how, they may trade that pick, but they may take a quarterback.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons take CJ Stroud.
Take CJ Stroud, right.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be surprised with that either. The reason I didn't have the Falcons taking a quarterback was just reading the room, basically. Reading the reports coming out of Atlanta, right? They're out on Lamar. Desmond Ridder's our guy. Some of the comments that the coaches and the GM made seems like they're not going, but they could be, like you said, they could be trying to fool everybody, make it seem like they're not taking a quarterback and then go with Stroud there. But the other thing is we got the Super Bowl runner-up, the Eagles, at 10, right? And this is when you have a good team, right? This is a luxury because you get to. This is an extra pick. Normally, you're not picking here. Like I just came from the Super Bowl and I have a top 10 pick.
That's wild that they have that though.
Yeah, this is from what trade is this from? Yeah, this is from the Saints. I forget the exact trade. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. But nevertheless, I had them going Luke Van Ness in my first mock, my draft mock. I thought they was going to take the edge out of Iowa. But the more I think about it, bro, the more I think they're going to go Bijan Robinson.
Yo, I was thinking the same thing. But I was also thinking, like, you know, they lost a couple guys this year on that defensive end. So I was thinking, you know, maybe plug some holes in. But you see, Miles Sanders isn't there anymore. I don't know how much I trust Boston Scott and what's the other guy, Rieger?
No. They got well, they just picked up Rashad Penny from Seattle.
Okay.
And they got Kenneth Gainwell.
Kenneth Gainwell. That's who I'm thinking about.
Yeah. So they might be okay with that. But I just think if you're the Eagles, right? You like, we going all in. Like you get Bijan Robinson. You know what I mean? Why not? So yeah, I'm going Bijan there, bro.
That'd be a tough pick. It sort of remind me of damn, I'm drawing a blank on his name, the running back from the Steelers. Najee Harris. Yeah, so I could kind of see him, you know, going. And I know the Steelers aren't good as the Eagles, but you know, sort of that's who I kind of compare him to.
Right. Yeah, and I think that'll be a good pick, bro. I think that continues to add weapons around Jalen Hurts. I mean, that's a dangerous offense already. Maybe the best offensive line in the NFL. So it's going to be tough to stop them if you add a guy like Bijan Robinson. Now, I've been seeing reports about A.J. Brown has been trying to get the Eagles to jump on Derrick Henry because, you know, the Titans put Derrick Henry on the trade block. So if that happens, I can see this flip-flopping. I can see the Titans taking Bijan. Like, if the Eagles get Henry, I can see the Titans replacing Henry with Bijan Robinson.
Now, is this a draft day night trade? I know you ain't going to know, like, the exact time, but is this a trade that you make on draft night?
They could. Think about it. The Eagles traded for A.J. Brown on draft night last year. So it could be a repeat between the same two teams. And Derrick Henry may become an Eagle.
The connection is a lot of fuzzy parody around that. Oh man.
Bro. Yeah, bro. So it could get interesting, but for the sake of, you know, staying on the draft, I can see the Eagles definitely upgrading that running back position with Rashad Penny's question marks around his health and things like that. Now we get to Tennessee. Tennessee needs a quarterback, right? They've been in the playoffs outside of last year for a couple years straight. They was making some runs. They had the 1 seed 2 years ago. But a lot of people, including myself, don't believe in Ryan Tannehill. He gets the job done for you a little bit, but he's not going to take you to that next level. On top of that, they fired their GM when they were winning this year. It was the craziest thing ever, bro. They were like, I think they were like 9-4, or they had a winning record, or maybe not 9-4. Maybe they were like 6-3 and fired their GM. I'd never seen a team with a winning record like that fire their GM just mid year. So they got some issues, right? But they also got
mirrors
for sure. But they also got Malik Willis, you know, the quarterback that they drafted last year, who came in, got some time under his feet. So I don't think they're going to go quarterback here. I think they're going to go tackle, and I think they're going to take Paris Johnson out of Ohio State and bolster that offensive lineup. I think they might ride with Tannehill. You think receiver? Okay. So they do need receivers, too. I mean, the Titans receivers are.
Like you said, like how you said, people probably aren't really believing in Ryan Tannehill, but when Ryan Tannehill does play, you know what I'm saying, he's not that much of off from an average quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He has this am I going out on a limb here, bro?
I'm not big on Ryan Tannehill. I think Ryan Tannehill is average.
Like average. That's what I said. Like a little bit
Yeah,
below, close to average. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Get him one of them young guys out there. Get him like a Christian Watson. You know what I'm saying? That he could just give him because
A
I
guy
like
like
Jackson
that.
Smith. Yeah.
No, I like them too, right? But for my philosophy, well, my perspective on the Titans' philosophy is,
Mm.
I don't think they're going to invest in Ryan Tannehill. You know, as
Mm.
far as weapons, right? When you going out and you're getting weapons, you have your quarterback in place, and now you want to give him some people that can separate to make him even better. I don't think they'll do that. Drafting a guy like Paris Johnson Jr., he can take his lumps and bruises. I think if you're the Titans and you saying we're figuring quarterback out at this moment, he could take his lumps, and if his second year he'll be better. So if you go get a quarterback in next year's draft, then you can double up, get some weapons, get a guy you like. I just don't see them providing weapons to Tannehill. I think they're done. That door is pretty much shut. They packing his damn bags. His locker maybe he got a temporary locker. He don't even
If they don't trade Henry, you still think they move past Ryan Tannehill?
uh
Like instead of
eventually,
like
yeah.
running it. Okay.
Eventually, yeah, bro. Eventually. So I'm gonna take Paris Johnson Jr. for the sake of this.
Okay. Say that.
Now we got Houston with the back-to-back picks in the first round. Not back-to-back, but you know what I mean. In that top 15. They could go a quarterback here. Bro, hold on. CJ Stroud is still dropping, right?
That's just
And
crazy. And
go ahead.
now, I was gonna say, who did we take second here for them? We took the defensive lineman,
We took the defensive end, Will
the
Anderson Jr.
defensive end.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. If CJ Stroud's still on the board, I would take him here. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You taking CJ Stroud at 12?
If they,
We
if
we're gonna take it. I'm rocking with you here. I'm rocking with
my
you.
man,
This is a joint effort. We're taking CJ Stroud here. Um, I like it. I think they're going to upgrade the quarterback position. I want to make that clear. I think they are, but I really feel like this, bro. I feel like Trey Lance is going to Houston. Um, I think that's the vision. I think CJ Stroud could be this pick at 13 because your man Aaron Rodgers may not be going there. Bro, tell me how crazy would that be, right? All this draft talk around CJ Stroud. I mean, all this trade talk around Aaron Rodgers, and the Jets draft a quarterback at 13. That lets you know it's over.
I'm still sitting here processing if the Texans take no, because if the Texans trade that second round pick, they no,
Mm-hmm.
he's not even like you said, he wasn't worth it. They'll trade the 12th pick for Trey Lance, right? Who
Nah,
do
bro,
you
they,
think the
they
40?
won't. They won't trade the 12th pick, bro. They'll be trading a fourth round pick. Like they won't
Got you.
trade.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I was gonna,
it'll be a smaller pick.
because I'm saying here like if the Niners get a top 12 pick,
Oh yeah, nah.
man,
They won't get that much compensation for Trey Lance just because you're not, you're not high on it. It's like trying to sell some sneakers or something that you don't even like. It's like there's no value
yeah.
there. You know what I mean? You're moving on from them. So, moving on to the Jets at 13, bro. I think if it's Aaron Rodgers thing is going to happen, if they're saying it's still going to happen, right? So
Ooh,
I'm
I
gonna
see the
I'm
Joe
gonna
picked
leave
up today. That was the first article. Come on now, Seth.
I'm gonna leave you some hope, and I think they're gonna take a tackle. Um, I think they're gonna take. I think it's his name is Broderick or Broderick Jones out of Georgia. Um, he's a winner, right? He got a couple national championships. He's a monster too, and I think they pad that offensive line to give Aaron Rodgers some more protection if he ever decided to get the hell over there. How you feel
It'll
about
be
that?
interesting.
Tackle for your man, some
I
protection
like
for
that. You
Aaron.
gotta have. I was about to say you gotta have some protection back there for A-Rod, man.
Agreed. All right, moving on to 14. Here we go. Rumors came out about the Patriots shopping Mac Jones. I think that's still a possibility. Again, bro, with Baltimore, with the Patriots, with the 49ers in a smaller scale, when there's trade talks and stuff going on around quarterbacks, and you hear that you're being shopped, it's that relationship is kind of tarnished. Right? Like I don't see like I think Mac Jones will eventually be moved on from now. At this moment, because I don't see Bill Belichick being moved on from. It's one or the other, and
You
it
can
doesn't seem like
Bill Belichick is the Greg Pop of the NBA. He ain't going nowhere
yeah,
until you retire.
exactly, exactly. And I think Bill Belichick is ready to move to a newer NFL in the sense of mobile quarterbacks. I think when Cam Newton went to New England, a lot of people were surprised because that's not the Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe, Matt Castle, Jimmy G mode, right? So getting a guy like
Mhm.
Cam Newton was like, whoa, right? And it seemed like that Cam Newton didn't produce, but it seemed like him and Bill Belichick, worked as far as off the field. And I think Anthony Richardson can go to the Patriots, bro. I think this is going to throw a lot of people off. A lot of people have Anthony Richardson going in the top 5. I don't see him going that far, and I don't see nobody
He kind
trading
of
up for
fell
him.
because I felt the last time we dibbled and dabbled with this, I felt like he was higher, but I think we was maybe just doing the quarterbacks at the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
we're talking about the quarterback. I do think he'll be the last quarterback picked out of the 4. Because as I mentioned, the Texans could trade down out of that 2 pick. There could be a team that really, or the Cardinals that really like C.J. Stroud and don't want to risk the Colts possibly taking him. And I think the Colts want Levis anyway. That's at least my thoughts. But I think Anthony Richardson will be that last quarterback pick. At 15, Aaron Rodgers is going to be pissed at the Packers because after all this time, they didn't draft him a wide receiver in the first round. And I think they take JSN to go
JSN
along.
and Watson on others, and it's crazy. 'Cause I
And
just
Romeo
mentioned them.
Dobbs.
Young
So they can,
core, man.
yeah, and you
Jordan
feel
Love gonna have fun,
Jones.
man.
Yeah, he will. And I think they'll invest in him, bro. I think they'll put some pieces around him. He had some sparks last season. He got in the game. He looked right. So I think they'll draft a receiver and put JSN around him.
That's
That gives him
crazy,
a
bro. How the
dynamic
eras is
receiving, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Duo.
Passing the
Because I think
baton,
JSN
man.
is the best. Yeah, for sure. And I think JSN is the best wide receiver in the draft, by the way. Um,
I agree.
all right, moving on to Washington. They have quarterback problems as well, but reports are saying Sam Howell is the starting quarterback, and that's who they're going with. So I'm gonna
Over
believe him
Tyler
there.
Heineke?
Tyler Heineke got traded. Where's Heineke at? Heineke? I think Heineke's going, bro. I
What?
think. I think. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, he's with the Falcons. Yeah, they
See, I
moved
didn't
on
know
from
that.
Heineke. Yeah, they moved on.
Wow.
Um, so I have the Commanders going cornerback here, bro. I think they need some depth pieces there. Like I say, it's a wide receivers league, and you got to deal with AJ Brown, you got to deal with CeeDee Lamb. Now you got to deal with Brandon Cooks. You got to deal with a lot of top end wide receivers. So I think they take the local kid, and he stays put and goes to Washington there.
Got a guard, man.
Absolutely. Then we got Pittsburgh. I think we get 2 cornerbacks going back to back. I think this one is just a match made in heaven. I think it makes too much sense. Joey Porter, legend for the Steelers. His son out of Penn State. Steelers love drafting Penn State products, not too far away. And I think they go with the son and add some depth at the cornerback position as well.
We got him out there on one side. TJ Watt
Yeah.
edge on that edge rush.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice to go with Minkah Fitzpatrick and add to that defense. For 18, I have Detroit taking a tight end. I have them taking Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. They lost T.J. Hockenson last year to the Vikings, and I think that hurt them a little bit. I mean, they still perform pretty well, but I think they'll want to replace him with a guy like Dalton Kincaid that could possibly provide that same type of production, maybe even more. Out of Utah, and I think a lot of teams are high on him at tight end. How you feel about that pick before I move on?
I like it, man. Cause you know why? I'm big on them Bucks.
You are big on
Both
the
set it
Bucks.
up a lot. I think the Bucks can win the division, man.
You big on the Bucks, and you big on Baker Mayfield. You like Baker. You like these mediocre, slowly on their way out the league quarterbacks. Baker, Jimmy G. Who else you said you liked? You
Derek
like
Carr. Oh my God.
bro.
No, but I'm telling you though, Baker's gonna get crazy. This is one receipt y'all can really keep. Baker's gonna get crazy this year.
All right.
You give him a little protection. Let's hit them weapons.
All right. So who you got the Bucks taking? I got them taking Kalijah Kancey out of Pitt. Uh I think they had some players retire. Jared McCoy retired. Some players leave and things like that. I do know they need a little bit of offensive line help. They also need a
That's where
tight
I
end.
was gonna go.
But I'll let you get this one now. What offensive line?
Yeah, whoever's the best offensive line right now in the draft, I would think, I don't know who
Darnell
was
White.
injured or what was going on with that line last year, but damn man, we can't have Baker looking like Brady last year with this line. So I would definitely try to bolster that up, juice that up a little bit, and get to Baker some time back there.
All right. So we're gonna give him Darnell Wright. I think Darnell Wright is the best tackle right now. And there's been a lot of chatter that he could be the first tackle taken off the board. With how impressive he's been. Big dude, 6'5", 333. 4-year starter. So he got a lot of experience. And he got some versatility, right? He can be a guard, he could be a right tackle. So I think that provides them a lot of help on the offensive line. Big dude like him.
Just bolster it
Uh,
up, man.
Seattle, bro. I know they took Jalen Carter. We had them taking Jalen Carter, defensive line, out of Georgia, right? In that top 10 pick, 5. I think they're gonna add to the offense here. I think they're gonna get a guy like Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is a guy who's on the smaller side, right? He's not a number one receiver. So these teams that are really wide receiver needy, I think won't take him if you're looking for one. Because he's not going to be your number one receiver. He's not a Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase. He's not that guy. He's a gadget receiver that you can plug and play, move him around. I mean, he's only 5'8", 5'9", 182. But he got speed. He quick as hell.
Sounds like a Sky Moore, or who's the guy from Philly? The real fast guy.
Quez Watkins.
Watkins, yeah.
Yeah. And I can see Seattle putting him in there. Imagine him next to Metcalf and Lockett. That'd be deadly. And they're invested in Geno Smith. You know what I mean? They just paid him. So I think they'll give him some extra talent there. All right, moving on to the Chargers, bro. This is another team that need a receiver. They got Mike Williams. They're making Mike Williams their one. There hasn't been any chatter on Keenan Allen yet, but I know we got that June 1st date where you have like pre and post June 1st releases and cuts. And that kind of affects the salary cap, right? Like you can save more money in some circumstances if you cut or release players after that June 1st date. So I still think they're going to move on from Keenan Allen at some point. And I knew they got some receivers over there, but I think they're going to add a dynamic receiver, right? Because you're replacing Keenan Allen. And this is one of those top guys.
I do think that his name is Josh Palmer, right?
Josh, yeah, I know you big on Josh Palmer.
I do like Josh Palmer out there. I think he can be your two, but if you can have a guy out there in the slot that can make plays, you know what I'm saying, that has number 2 potential. I can see this pick happening here if they don't lose Keenan Allen.
Yeah. I could see that too. I know you like Josh Palmer. I think they'll keep him in the slot. I think Jordan Addison just gives you something that, like I said, a guy that can take a slant to the crib. A high end athlete out of USC, so he been getting those passes from Caleb Williams. Good quarterback, and Justin Herbert will be able to, deliver those same balls and get him open. So still staying local, staying in LA, and I got the Chargers taking Addison. Baltimore, this was a pick I went back and forth with. Because for the longest, bro, I felt like they was going to trade up. They was going to trade with Atlanta, and Atlanta's going to get that 8th pick and get Lamar. Yeah, that was in my mind for a while. But, and then I also thought about Myles Murphy out of Clemson. I think he fits that Baltimore mold. But then again, I changed my mind after I heard that Darius Slay was on his way to Baltimore before he decided to go back to Philly. So that shows me that they're interested in that cornerback position and add some depth there. Marcus Peters seems like he may be on that post June 1st cut list. And I think they'll go Emmanuel Forbes here out of Mississippi State, not Tyreek Stevenson. I think they're going to go Emmanuel Forbes. Long guy. He fits that Baltimore mold, right? 6'1", versatile, got some ball skills. I think they'll plug and play him, and and he'll be a nice addition to that defense.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Like you said, they already been in the hunt for it.
Right.
So why not, take opportunity to bolster that defense here?
Absolutely. All right, now we got the Vikings. They lose Thielen. I do think they need some defensive line help, but they also need a receiver to replace Thielen because Justin Jefferson's getting double covered on every play.
He's gonna be.
I have a feeling that they may not go young. They may. I think the Vikings are in the mindset that this should be our division. We know Detroit's on the rise, but Aaron Rodgers is out. We should be winning this division. We won a division last year, and we need to keep this up. They're in win-now mode. They say they like Kirk Cousins. That's fine. They got a new coach. They just had some success, right? They beat the Bills last season. I think they had like 13 wins or something like that. So I think that receiver might be filled with a veteran, with a Keenan Allen. With a guy like that, they may bring in and be like, he's still got some juice.
Keenan Allen in Minnesota.
Yeah. So I think they'll move that way. So for that reason, I'm gonna have them going D-line. I can't keep seeing Kalijah Kancey fall like this. Beast out of Pitt. So I'm gonna give them Kalijah Kancey right here at 23.
Yeah, because they can score the ball, man, but it don't look like much defense is being played.
Right, and you got to be able to stop the run in the NFC. When come playoff time and things like that, when it start getting cold out, and he can provide some pass rush from the interior of the line. So you're not dependent on your edges too much there, or so much there. All right, now we got the Jags, another team coming off a successful season, right? Got a playoff win. They're looking like they're starting to come into their own. They got a Super Bowl winning coach in Doug Peterson. Trevor Lawrence, who was number 1 overall pick. They get Calvin Ridley back.
A hungry Calvin Ridley too.
So I think they're gonna be content with their weapons. But they did just lose their right tackle to Kansas City. And I think they'll be looking to replace that. You got to keep Trevor Lawrence upright. I think they'll go Dwayne Jones out of Ohio State here. Big body. 6'8", 374, bro. Monster. And I think he'll be able to help in the run game. Yeah, 6'8". I think he'll be able to help in that run game too. A lot. Yeah, he's a big boy.
You definitely gotta protect Trevor Lawrence going forward though now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Now. Yeah, we got the Giants at 25. I think the Giants need a receiver. Bad. You just paid Daniel Jones. At least get him a weapon, somebody to make him look a little, better, safety blanket, guy that can take the top off the defense. I think they would love Jordan Addison, but I think the Chargers snatch him up. So I think the Giants are going to go best available, and I think they're going to take Quentin Johnston, who was, early on rated the top wide receiver in his draft class. Kind of fell as of late, but I think the Giants add Quentin Johnston to give them some help in that receiver room.
I think it's going to be interesting too what happens with Barkley because his deal's still not done yet, is it? Or did they franchise tag him?
You were breaking up, bro. Say that again.
I said it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Saquon Barkley. I was asking, did they franchise tag him already?
They did franchise tag, but he hasn't agreed to sign yet.
The deal. Yeah,
so it's getting dicey there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's getting dicey. Moving on to these Cowboys. This is a tough pick, bro. I think they would love to replace Zeke. with a guy like Bijan Robinson, if they could.
I
I
mean,
don't
you don't
think there's
believe in
no running backs
Pollard?
after Bijan Robinson. I do, but I just think they would want that 1-2 punch. I don't think they want Pollard to be that every down back so early coming off an ACL tear.
Mm,
I think that's big.
I forgot about the injury.
Um, yeah, so I think they would like to go running back. I don't think they will though. I can see them adding a guy like Brian Branch, or even an edge, like Luke Van Ness or Miles Murphy. Somebody to help Michael Parsons come off that. Give them more of a presence attacking those quarterbacks. So I'll let you give me your pick here. You think they go? You think they go edge, or you think they go safety out of Bama?
I like the edge, man.
You like the edge? Okay.
And who was the cornerback that they signed earlier this year? Was it
Stephon
Stephon
Gilmore.
Gilmore, right?
Yeah.
I think you definitely go edge. Speed these quarterbacks up. Really put that
Mm-hmm.
pressure on the offensive line. If you got two elite edge rushers coming off the end, so I'm definitely bolstering the defense here, man.
Agreed, bro. And I think they'll get a guy like Van Ness. Power rusher, right? A little different from Michael Parsons with his speed. And I think that's a good balance.
Hmm
So I'm gonna get him Luke Van Ness here. He's been shooting up draft charts lately. So I think that'll help the Cowboys out a lot.
Well, Michael Parsons getting doubles too, man. That's gonna open up a
Yeah.
lot for him.
Heck yeah. So that'll be big. That'll be big. Now we got Buffalo. They need some interior offensive line help. They also need some defensive line, so they need to focus on the trenches. They could upgrade their cornerback as well. I forgot who I said I liked to them. So I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you give me your pick here, bro. You think they'll go cornerback, or you think they'll go defensive line?
I think they go defensive line here.
Defensive line.
Yeah. Um. Did they lose a cornerback? This year? No,
They
no, no. They lost Micah Hyde, right? The
they
safety.
did the safety. True. I think that you might have just
Hmm
answered my question. I think they might go Brian Branch. You
Yeah,
go.
I gotta agree. I'm switching my pick quick.
Yeah,
I knew they
yeah.
lost somebody.
I'm glad you brought that up. Absolutely. Or was it Micah Hyde or was it Jordan Poyer? They might lose both, right?
I think it is both, bro.
I think they might lose
That's
both. I'm
that's a
drawing a blank.
whole. I know somebody's already out of there. I think. I forgot where he signed at.
Micah Hyde is still in Buffalo.
Oh, he's
Uh,
still there.
yeah. So I think, but I do know you're absolutely correct that Jordan Poyer or Micah Hyde is out the door. Um, I think it's Jordan Poyer, but I think that's gonna come down the pipe. So I think they'll replace him with a guy like Brian Branch.
And like you always say, bro, them safeties is expendable,
Yeah,
replaceable.
absolutely. And Brian Branch is a guy who can move in that slot. He's a little more versatile. He's young, got some speed. So I think he'll plug and play perfectly for Buffalo. Moving on to Cincy, the 2024 Super Bowl champs.
Ooh. We might get a
I'm
5 minute take here.
gonna keep it brief. I'm gonna keep it brief. I think the signing of Irv Smith Jr. doesn't give you the desperate need at tight end if Michael Mayer is gone. But he's a local kid. His favorite team is the Bengals. He's been quoted at um, draft interviews and things like that, saying that Joe Burrow's his favorite quarterback. And I just think it makes too much sense to take a guy like Michael Mayer. He can block. It's something that the Bengals need to utilize that play action and get the ball to them weapons. And he also a guy who can make one-on-one contested catches. And I think this solves their tight end position, right? Because these last couple of years, C.J. Uzomah played well in that run to the Super Bowl. He left and got a contract. Hayden Hurst played well last year. He left and got a contract. Irv Smith is looking to do the same. He's looking to play well this year, leave and get a contract. So I think Michael Mayer is a guy that you can keep there and keep some consistency instead of having that tight end run being a revolving door. Um,
I agree. I love the pick, man.
yeah, so we go Michael Mayer at 28. Miles Murphy won't continue to fall out of Clemson. Beast, I think the Saints will take him here. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the edge. Cam Jordan is getting older. right? So you want to bring some young talent in there, guys that can replace him. I think they'll find a stud late in the draft, which would be big because they, picking in the 29th and they lost their 10th pick. So you want to look for some value here, and I think Myles Murphy will be able to provide that. Now we got the Eagles. Again, they took Bijan Robinson at that 10th spot, which is dangerous, right? So now you got this 30th pick to kind of fill in some holes, add that depth, like you were saying. They lost some guard play on that offensive line. That was vital. Like I said, they had one of the best offensive lines in the league. I do think they might want to add some.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And for that reason, that's why I was looking at Osiris Terrence. Powerful guard, 6'5", 347. It's hard, like they said, it's big boy are hard to overpower him. I think they can go Osiris Terrence here, add some depth to that offensive line. I also can see them taking an edge because their edges are getting up there in age, and things like that. But I'm going Osiris Terrence here.
I was gonna definitely say either or as well. Like just from a getting younger standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
you could go youth on both ends, and I think it'll be interesting if they had a young edge rusher out there. You know what I mean? Like groom him like a Marka Parsons. I know their bills is probably different, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Agreed, bro. And I think keeping that offensive line stout and keeping new pieces coming in. They drafted the guy out of Landon Dickinson out of Alabama not too long ago in the previous draft. So I think keeping young, fresh guys in there to learn from these vets like Lane Johnson and Jordan and Jason Kelsey and those dudes will be big for when they out the door. Because Jason Kelsey flirted with retirement this year. Lane Johnson been having some injuries. So I think it's big to keep that, leadership and let them train some of these young guys. And then we got the last pick, the Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs. I think they'll also add some tackles. I think a lot of people want to see them take another weapon here, whether that's a receiver. But I don't think they will. I think Kansas City is on this mountain right now where we just lost Tyreek Hill, and we just said, "Come on, Juju. Come on, Michael Valdez-Scantling. Come on, Kadarius Toney. We just gonna figure it out." We got Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. So I don't think they're gonna go in on the wide receiver here and take a chance. I think Anton Harrison is a guy that they like. I think they want to keep Mahomes upright. They did lose Orlando Brown Jr. And they brought in 2 right tackles, right? And they was able to make that work with Orlando Brown, but I don't know if they'll be able to make that same transition with these right tackles that they just signed. And Anton Harrison is sort of like a safety net, an insurance policy. And if he can fill in and play left tackle, I think that'd be great for them.
I like it, bro. I was gonna say it would be interesting though to see, because phenomenal season to the Chiefs, but I think with them losing Miko Hartman, and I know he had got injured throughout the season. I
Right.
think you do, sort of got to figure out, Travis Kelsey had to do a lot. So I think in a way, maybe you gotta, maybe think about getting a young receiver in there, a young dynamic guy that can come in and, he's gonna have his rookie woes, but come on and make a good, get Patrick Mahomes a new toy or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I think that'd
that's
be fun to see too, bro. But you hit it right on the nail. Losing McCole Hardman, he was in and out. Like I feel like the Chiefs, Andy Reid is a master. I know Patrick Mahomes gets a lot of the credit because of the crazy plays, and rightfully so, that he makes. But Andy Reid is going to make it work. Kadarius Toney came in mid-season. McCole Hardman was out. They didn't lose a beat. They didn't lose a beat.
absolutely.
Juju probably won't produce at a high level in New England. I can almost guarantee that. So I don't think receiver is something that they'll grab a guy, a guy that can work. Shoot, DeAndre Hopkins might get released. Keenan Allen, right? You would rather that sure when you're in a win now. Yeah, when you're in a win now situation. The Chiefs want to be a dynasty. They want to win the next 3 if they can. So that's why I think they'll take a proven commodity there.